Hello, welcome to my channel Smart Techie. In this video, we'll discuss about obstacles in chaining. So what is an obstacle? It prevents the chainman the measurements directly between the 2 points so that distances are found by indirect measurements. For example, obstacles to ranging. So in this case, there are 2 points A and B and there is an obstacle, for example an hill, and it prevents in ranging. So this is an obstacle for ranging between the points A and B. So this obstacle to ranging is subdivided into two cases. So the first one is both the ends of the line may be visible from the intermediate points on the line. So what it is, for example, if I locate an intermediate point in between A and B, for example C and D are my intermediate points. Okay, from C and D A is visible, and from C and D B is visible. So in this case, the distance between A and B is measured by reciprocal ranging. So this method we have discussed in a previous lecture, that is the ranging. We have discussed about direct and indirect ranging also. So this method of ranging is carried out by reciprocal ranging. So the next case is both the ends of the line may not be visible from intermediate points on the line. So in this case, A and B, okay, are not visible from these intermediate points also. So these C and D are my intermediate points, and if I check from C, A is not visible, and when I observe from D, A is not visible, that is the end point, and same case from C and D, B is not visible. So in this case, we need to measure the distance between A and B and can be considered by C and D as intermediate points. So now we'll carry out a simple calculation wherein we'll locate these intermediate points almost in the same line of A and B. So let us consider A and B be the line, okay, in which A and B are not visible from intermediate points on it. So from A, draw a random line B1, okay, but it should be near to the station B as possible. So B1 is visible from B, and B1 is perpendicular to the random line, and then measure B1. Then select in a similar manner, select the points C1 and D1 on the random line and erect and perpendicular from C1 to C and D1 to D on it. So these perpendiculars are set, but we need to find the measurements of this so that we can locate C and D on a line of AB. So how to calculate these measurements? These measurements are calculated by property of similar triangles. For example, if I consider A, this is C1, this is B1, this triangle AB1B, okay, and AC1C. So by property of similar triangles and the corresponding sides of the triangles are proportionate, so we consider C1 upon B1 is equal to AC1 upon AB1. So we find C1 is nothing but AC1 upon AB1 into B1, and similar manner with you all can consider with D1 and D. So this is A B1 upon B, okay, and D1 by D, okay. So it is D1 is equal to A D1 upon A B1 into B1. So you find the distance of C1 here and D1 here, and then you all can locate these points C and D on a line of AP, and then prolong the line and then you all can carry out the measurements. Obstacle to chaining but not ranging. In this case, for example, if we have a small pond or a river and we need to find the distance between A and B, that is, we need to measure this distance A and B, but there is no problem in ranging. But when we want to lay a chain on this point, there is a obstacle in between. So there are different methods to carry out these calculations, and calculations are carried out based on the trigonometrical equations. So you all can refer trigonometrical ratios for calculations. So in the first method, let A and B be the two end points. Let C and D beside the pond or a lake. Okay. Erect a perpendicular line and mark the point E, and then from D erect a perpendicular line and mark F. So measure the distance between E and F, and the distance EF will be equal to CD. So the total distance you all can just calculate it by adding those distance, that is AC plus CD plus DB. Okay, so in the similar manner, there is another method wherein we can draw a diagonal line from point E to D, and this distance CD is calculated by Pythagoras theorem, that is hypotenuse the whole square is equal to A square plus B square, and ED the whole square is equal to CD the whole square plus CE the whole square. So next we'll discuss about when it is not possible to chain round the obstacle. For example, we have a river and we cannot chain around the obstacle. So there is a simple calculation carried out. In this method, if we have a river, okay, so what we'll do, we'll select a point B, okay, and point A and point C on the another side of the river. Okay, and then what we'll do, we'll just join this line just for the reference purpose. Now we'll erect a perpendicular from point A, okay, and mark this point as D. And then similar manner we'll erect a perpendicular from point D and mark this point as E. And the next step is carried out by ranging. We'll mark B, D and E almost in a same line. Okay, this is done by ranging. So then what else we can do is, we can just draw a line parallel to AC and which is perpendicular to CE, and we'll point it as F. So here we have two similar triangles. One similar triangle is A, okay, B and D. This one triangle we can consider, and this is 90 degrees here. And then second triangle we can consider as FDE, that is F, D and E. So these two are similar triangles, and by properties of two similar triangles, the corresponding sides are proportionate. So we have an equation as AB upon AD, because sides are proportionate, and in another triangle we have DF and EE. This is first equation. So what is FE? FE is nothing but CE minus CF. Okay, from this line you all can consider this, or we can write it as CE minus AD. Why minus AD? Because when we have DF is equal to AC, then even CF is equal to AD. Okay, so we can write DF is equal to AC, so we can have AD is equal to CF. Okay, so we can consider this as equation 2, and by substituting equation 2 in equation 1, we get AB is equal to AC, okay, upon AD is equal to CE minus AD. So here I want to find the distance between A and B because I know this measurement. Okay, I just need to find the distance between A and B. Okay, so AB is nothing but AC into AD. Okay, I'll cross multiply this and divide it by CE minus AD. So with this equation we can find the distance. Okay, so we have covered obstacle to ranging and obstacle to chaining. Now we'll discuss about obstacle to both ranging and chaining. So for example, if we have a building, okay, in this case we have a building over here. So this building prevents chaining as well as ranging because of the height of the building. So in this case we cannot prolong the line beyond the obstacle and determine the distance across it. So what we'll do, we'll select 2 points, okay, A and B. So we'll select 2 points A and B on one side and erect perpendicular as AC and BD. B and D, and this length is of equal length, and then we'll join C and D. Okay, after joining C and D, we'll carry out ranging and we'll prolong this line. Okay, we'll prolong C and D to some extent. Okay, and then select 2 points on C and D. Okay, point, for example, we can say it as E and F on C and D line, and then we'll erect perpendicular, okay, as E and G, and then F and H. Okay, and this distance E to G and F to H will keep it same as the distance of B and D and A and C. Okay, with the same distance, and then we can join G and H and then prolong the line to AB. Next, measure distance D and E, and that will be equal to B and G. Okay, so this is the distance how we can calculate. So you all might ask me ki why we have selected 2 points. Why it is necessary to select 2 points? See, with 1 point you can't prolong this line and you can't range. As I said, we need one intermediate point for ranging and prolonging the line. So that is why we have considered 2 points here and 2 points here for an accurate measurement, and we can prolong the line correctly. So this is how the distance can be measured between B and G.